Weekly Roundup. I'm your host, Jake Friel. We got a jam-packed show for you today. Going to be talking about Kirk Herbstreit's comments about him not believing that there will be college football or NFL football in 2020. We'll discuss that. Coronavirus in sports, NFL talk, Eagles talk, whatever you guys want to talk about. And obviously, we're going to be wrapping up the show with UFC champion Jon Jones getting in trouble again. Surprise, surprise. But as always, Steve Rochelle, Nicholas Giuliano, and Tommy Exotic himself. Tommy Exotic himself.
Oh, man.
The living polygamist. But
that was not me. Don't
That's not what I heard.
Don't put the poeg on me.
If you still got hair, you'd be rocking a mullet. Come on. Should be rocking a mullet.
I'm not really a mullet cat. I've been rocking the two spot on the razor for years now. A long time, like high school days. So I was never that guy.
Easy, right? Just something easy, real quick.
Yeah, done and done.
In and out.
I don't need the barber. I don't need I can shape myself up. All right.
Gotcha.
We're good.
All right. As always, we're brought to you by our doc, Make 'em Yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find them on the web at specializedphysicaltherapy.com. We're also brought to you by Ambuck Services, AMBUCK Services.com. Call Michael Ambrose. Tell him A2D sent you 10% off gutters, anything you need done around your house. That's AmbuckServices.com. And also, getting to our poll question, we will not have NCAA or NFL football in 2020. Agree or disagree? You want me to go first, or?
It's your show, man. You take the reins, brother.
All right. But, I disagree. I think it's a little over the top to say come September that we're still going to be cooped up in our houses and we won't be having sports. If it gets to that, though, I'm going to be losing my mind. But realistically, do I think it's going to get to that point to where we won't have sports all the way potentially till September? No, I don't think it's going to be that bad.
I agree with it with the hitch, because the way it is, if you know, Tommy's already been talking about it. You still see freaking idiots running around the streets doing this, doing that. Mm-hmm. I have people calling my daughter like, "Hey, let's have a sleepover. Let's do this." I'm like, "Are we not supposed to be self-quarantining from everybody? Like, what's going on here?" So, like, if you're sitting there, we're still seeing that in our own neighborhoods. You can only imagine what it's like going out and when you go into other places where people really don't care about anyone but themselves. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna get put into the situation where you never know. It might go in and infect the summer sports and go into the beginning of the fall sports. It might be something we're stuck with. We could be talking about months. As we're talking, maybe even get into a year because of people being stupid. Just being about themselves. You're affecting so many different people, and not just with the major four sports. Can you imagine what happened to the boxers and MMA fighters who don't have those checks coming all the time? Mm-hmm. All it is when they fight, they get them checks. So that's even worse for them. Your small business owners, they're gonna get really hit hard, and we got to see what's going on here. I hope I'm wrong, but from what I'm seeing, how people are acting, that could very well be in the pipeline.
Yeah, I agree with Steve also. I wouldn't be totally shocked if we don't have football or NCAA in 2020, even if it's a delayed start, because right now there is no cure other than staying inside, social distancing, which people still don't understand. And if other events like boxing and the Olympics are getting pushed back to dates that are still to be determined, golf, major events, golf, how can we let NFL players in the locker room, on the field, tackling each other, having fans in the stadium? I mean, come on, you're gonna pack the stadiums with 30,000, 40,000 fans.
Now we're gonna video call ourselves into the stadium.
I mean, it's almost going to be. And think about it as a player point of view. If you have the games with no fans, it's going to be like a preseason game in the fourth quarter. No atmosphere. It's just going to be a very weird sight. But I'm holding out that we're going to have football, but I would not be totally surprised.
Man, I mean, I think I agree with Greg earlier. I might have to off myself if that's
Yeah.
the case.
Yeah, seriously.
To me, the way the Major League Baseball is talking and the way the NBA is talking, where they already have a game, they're already starting. They put a game plan in place for a summer start. You know, we talk at Major League Baseball talking June, and then you have the NFL, not the NFL, you have the NBA and NHL talking about summer and starting to put that together and sort of have that in the works and getting that closer and closer to possibly happening makes me think that the NFL isn't going to have a problem. And if they do, the most it would be a delayed start. I think 60 days from now, it's a completely different situation. I think that's what most medical people believe as well, that it will slow down in 60 days if people do social distance themselves a little bit more. And then that's why baseball's thinking that they can get rolling in June. So, I disagree. I think there will be, I think NFL and college football are good to go in 2020.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree. Just like Tommy said, how the NBA is looking at it and how the NBA is looking at it. But again, I also agree to what Nick and Steve said also, because you still have idiots out there still being like, oh, I'm still going to go out with my friends. Like we saw the reports in Florida where kids were down at spring break. They're like, we don't care about the virus. We're still going to go out and party, whatever. So I really hope that doesn't get to that point. But at the same time, I can also see it to where they bring the sport back, or most of the sports back anyway before the football season starts, but they're just not going to have fans in attendance.
Yeah, I mean, like I agree with Brinkman here. When Rob says the NFL won't miss a beat, if you look through this entire process, the NFL said, "All right, we're gonna shut some things down, but we're not gonna stop operating. Mm-hmm. We're not gonna stop going and continuing to move forward because we plan on having a season." Mm-hmm. So, if you look at the steps they've taken so far, there's nothing to show you that they're not. I mean, I heard some execs weren't happy about the fact that, they can't, things are tougher having to do things remotely than it would be your usual routine and concerned about the draft going off on time. And Goodell sort of squashed that real quick and said, no, the NFL draft's going off and it'll be done remotely and done the right way, but it's planned to go off on the same dates. So they're not willing to change. Even with executives barking, even with GMs around the league barking. Saints GM the other day was barking about it. And Goodell came out and said, nope, we're still drafting. So you're going to have to learn how to do things remotely right now. So all indications point that they plan on running full steam ahead. And maybe obviously some camps are going to be taken away. You know what I mean? Some rookie stuff obviously will be taken away. But besides that, I mean, they can get going. And even if they got going in July, they're good. They're good. I mean, these guys are good. I truly believe that.
That's what I was going to bring up too. If would the lack of like preparation and training camps also like push the season back a little bit just from that point of view, like not being able to hold practices and like I said, the training camps and all that, preparing for the season.
I think it could. I think that's always a possibility. But I think that they would just try to get game plans in guys' hands and hope guys, obviously study at home and try to get as much work done as they can at home.
Because that's what they did in 2011 with the lockout, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so I don't think to them that they're going to try to slow it down. I think they're going to try to run. And like I said, maybe it does get started a month late. But I think that there's going to be football in 2020. I definitely think there will be.
Yeah, going forward with the draft is a good sign. That they're not making premature decisions saying, "Oh, we're shutting it down right now."
Yeah, that would scare me.
Yeah,
right? I mean, that would make me think like, okay, you're shutting your draft down completely. You're not going to draft guys like that. Would be thinking, okay, well, there's not going to be a season. For Kirk to come out and say this, he based it all off not having a vaccine, and I completely get that. But to me, it's gotta run its course like anything, like any other disease would.
Mm-hmm.
If you think it's man-made or not, it's still got to run it. It's still got to run its course. So I mean, in 60 days, you hope that it's ran its course enough where things can get back to normalish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree. Let's get to the comments real quick. Trilly337 says the Saints and the Eagles. Well, I mean, we have a championship. You haven't won one since 2010. So, Just throwing that out there. Greg says 2 p.m. start our talk. Tom already answered that. Not our fault. Congo's 951 says, gentlemen, how goes it? Good. Can't complain. Andy Ritter also says, what's going on, fellas? Have a great show. Sadly, I don't think we are going to see football in 2020. Well, I hope not. Hopefully. But again, I get it. Joe Moffat also says disagree. Greg,
Cowboy Joey.
yeah. Greg says he disagrees with the poll. If there is an agree portion to this question, I'm offing myself. Yeah, no. And then Tommy talked about that earlier. Yeah, I just, if we don't have sports till then, I'm going to lose my mind. Brian Daly, what's good, my guys? Welcome back, Nick.
Thank you.
Frank Vespi. We'll see you down. We'll see you down at football this year. Welcome back, Jules. Ryan Brodo says, we'll have to start doing shows talking about marble racing. We don't get football going in 2020.
Yeah, TV shows, like, you know what I mean. Now we're gonna be like gossip. We're gonna be talking gossip.
Yeah, right.
Like, you see that person outside their house? You see Karen? You see Karen?
It's like ESPN. They had a what was it last week? They had a professional pizza box folding competition like 2 weeks ago on ESPN 3, I think it was. I'm like, is this where we're at now? Like, this is how bad it's gotten.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, it's getting bad because if you think about it now, you see Marvel Studios is thinking about releasing Black Widow on Disney Plus. So, like, something they said that they weren't going to do, that they were going to hold on to it because it starts off this whole next thing that they're doing. If they're thinking about doing that tells you that they're thinking just like, hey, we already thought we were going to get at least $1 billion out of this. It's hit now. We're not going to get it. So let's just let's just. Well,
you're seeing a lot of movies in theaters now doing that too. Like some that just came out like a couple weeks ago. They're going on.
Yeah, but that's just because they bombed in general and they're trying to do whatever they can to recoup. This is a different story. They haven't even released it yet. They were getting ready to do that final marketing push for it. So if you're starting to see that with stuff like that, it makes you think.
Yeah, that's true. Greg Malakovic also says, welcome back to the fam, Jules. Ryan Brodo also says, welcome back, Jules.
Love the love.
Chrome also says, hey, fellas, my gut feeling today is NBA and NHL will be canceled this season. MLB, I'm 50-50 for NFL. It would have to be, I'm assuming he meant catastrophic, to not have a season. And if that happens, every motherfucker in this country needs to take a hard look in the mirror. Yeah, no, and we said it earlier. We still have idiots that just aren't staying at home. So
the only thing I disagree with, I think the NBA and NHL are going to have a season.
I think so too.
They're going to start their following season in like during Christmas, both, and they're going to have like almost like a shortened following season in a way. Maybe like 10 games. You know what I mean? But that's what I smell coming. That's what I smell coming. They don't want to lose this money. Are you kidding me, Cromer? They don't want to lose this money. If there's a chance to play, shit, I know the rinks are going to be melting and guys are going to be falling right in the damn glass. But guess what? These big time business owners, they already lost enough money. They ain't trying to lose this money. They are not trying to give money back because then they got to give money back to whoever has the rights to these telecasts. Right, so if ABC has the rights, now the NBA has to give money back. They ain't in the business of that.
Yeah, no.
They already been through this rabbit hole. They ain't trying to lose more. But I hear them. It could happen. I mean, but I just would be shocked.
Yeah, but isn't that like the most Philadelphia thing ever? Though the Flyers have one of their best seasons that they've had in years, and just to get the season shut down.
Yep, it sums it up.
It's crazy. I'm going to butcher this last name. Christopher Lusner. This sucks. My kids traveling hockey tournaments. We're all canceled. It's killing my kids. We have been practicing at local basketball court, but they lock the gates. We have nowhere to practice. I want to keep them active. Now I'm going to take them to an empty parking lot, I guess. The kids shouldn't be denied to stay active. No, I completely agree. They shouldn't be denied to stay active. But at the same time, it's one of those things where no one has a cure for it, and it's one of those things that we just have to adapt to right now, and that's the unfortunate part about it. Rob Pove also says, I'm really not sure there will be football, but I'm pretty sure COVID-19 is Carol Baskin's fault. Jesus. Jesus.
Well, now here's the other thing. Now the Olympics was canceled. Tom, and you think that's getting pushed back to next summer, and just having instead of it being how we were going to have it this summer, now it's just going to be the following summer.
Yeah, there was too much traveling involved with that one.
Mm-hmm.
So they were just like, screw this. We're just going to push it back.
Well, no, because that just opened the invitation to bring it in and spread it everywhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they were just saying, you know what, we're not going to go back and forth and reevaluate and do that to our athletes. We're just going to push it back.
Yeah. As soon as countries started coming out saying that their athletes aren't going over there.
I pretty much told you all you need to know. Because I think it started with Canada that pulled out,
Canada.
and then everyone just kind of followed suit. So
yeah, Canada's been goats in all this, man.
Yeah, getting ahead of everything.
Had all this shit.
Take a hockey away from them. Look what they can do.
Yep,
Crazy.
Start it all down and said, we're going to get this back. We might have had the Canadians, the Canucks, and the Jets play, but
honestly,
we're going to get it back, and just the Raptors. But we're gonna have sports back.
Eileen Pompey says, "Hey guys, how are you all doing? We're good, Eileen. How are you doing over where you're at?" Rob Brinkman also says, "Who knows what the NCAA will do?" Yeah,
they're the one that's in a sticky situation because they still have to get that tournament off, and that is massive.
Mm-hmm.
That's like Tommy was talking about all the TV, right? Yeah, that's the biggest bugaboo that has to happen for anyone right now is the NCAA basketball tournament because that's their home run right there.
Yeah,
out of everything, that's their home run.
If the NBA's playing in July, play in July.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't run it in July. Run it back. I know it's tough, but you should have enough, at least a month, to get players prepared for it.
Yeah.
Right? To get players back around the facilities, get players back, right, on campus a little bit, right? I mean, I don't think it's that hard in a month to get guys ready to go. And that's, it doesn't even have to be a month. But I'm saying they start practicing in June. Why can't they play in July? Or if they start practicing late June or middle of June, why can't they just then boom, boom, boom? Because if the NBA and NHL are playing, what does it matter for these guys to play? Any top 5 pick? See, that's where it gets tricky because is the NBA going to go off on their draft at that time? Or does the NBA say, hold on, we're going to push our draft back to September while we allow the NCAA tournament to finish as well and us to finish?
Mm-hmm.
That's a question too.
Yeah. That's a major question.
Guys aren't going to play, unless you're a top 10 pick and you got insurance on yourself, you're not playing.
Right. That's going to be that's another big concern, how the NBA draft's going to work out. Little bit of semi-breaking news. The Chiefs are re-signing wide receiver Demarcus Robinson to a 1-year deal.
Jules, anything on that one?
No. I mean, nothing. I mean,
that doesn't do anything for anybody. It's like good for him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I didn't want him. And
I'm saying I didn't want him either. I mean, he don't move the needle for me at all.
Exactly.
Right.
Neither one of us, and none of us had a response in any way.
It was just okay.
Yeah, like if they would have gone back on like a 4-year deal, you'd be like, oh wow, they think highly of him still.
Exactly.
Yeah. 1 year deal, he was just in the camp with you. He was just around you.
Did they say how much?
No, they didn't release the numbers yet.
They didn't want to embarrass him with his contract.
It wouldn't. Can't be any worse than Aguilar's contract. So
1.5.
Yeah, that might be what it is. But let's see.
He's just a guy, right, Tommy? DeMarcus.
Yeah,
just a guy.
Just another one of the many running routes in this league.
Yeah,
or attempting to.
Yeah, right.
Stealing money,
pretty much. Eric Jacinto also says, this doesn't slow down in 60 days, then we're going to have a huge problem. Yeah.
Huge.
If it's not slowing down in 10 days, we have a problem.
Yeah. We already got a problem, Houston. That problem's already been here.
Right.
And that's what's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why I might run for president in 2020 now. I might run. You can put me with Trump. We can do it together.
There you go.
I'm supporting the damn CDC. I was telling people 3-4 weeks ago, shut her down.
Mm-hmm.
Shut her down. And I'm not. We talked about before. I'm not Uncle Pandemic. You know,
pandemic.
Get all pandemicked up. That's not how I roll. So, you know, it is what it is. But
yeah, exactly. But now you're going to hear Eagles fans complain, be like, "Oh, well, we lost another wide receiver. What's how
we didn't lose anything? Hush."
Yeah, it's fine. We're fine. Joe Moffat also says 0 chance we miss the NFL. End of April, we'll be back to normal to a degree with some precautions, but we'll be fine. Hopefully. I hope so. Because I know me and Tommy talked a while ago. It's like we kind of miss going back to work in a way, just having that like daily routine and just all that. So,
dude, I'm already feeling it. Like,
yeah.
Like my sleep schedule's off. Like,
Mhm.
like even this, like stuff with my kids. Like for the most part, I've had all my kids since this whole thing happened. So it's like it's doubled up on everything. Like you know, physically, like I'm not doing anything. So it's like I'm like, ugh. And then I really can't. Like you're really not supposed to go anywhere and do anything. So it's like, okay, so what am I supposed to do now? And finding ways to come up with some things to do with the kids around the house and stuff like that. So
anybody exhausted from doing nothing?
Yeah.
No, I can't go to sleep. That's the problem, dude.
Yeah, because you have too much energy. That's what it is.
The last few nights I'm just sitting there and I'm like, dude, I mean, I'm even like blowing through green like it's crazy because I can't go to sleep.
Yeah. Seriously.
It's bad.
Jenna,
yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, Jenna Elizabeth, do you think Antonio Brown will play in 2020? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't see a team taking a chance on him. I really don't.
He said no.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Oh shit!
I don't think so either. I just think it's the fact that until he can get them personal things in his personal life situated, and you have to remember by the time all this starts situating, all the stuff that he was dealing with the all that stuff's going to start getting to a head when this is going to be kicking off. So I really don't see him playing this season. Now we could have a conversation, him playing the following season and maybe have a career for another 2 or 3 years. But other than that, like I think this discussion is almost moot point done at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'll go to the other side than you guys. I say I agree. I agree with Jenna because I'll say the reason is after this whole virus and everything, everybody's going to want to hug everybody, right? Everybody's going to want to give a hug and a kiss, and it's all going to be everything's forgotten. So yeah, he'll play somewhere in 2020 because listen, there's always going to be somebody that feels like they're that piece away. Now, do I think he should play in 2020? That's a whole nother conversation. But do I think he will? Yeah, I'll go. I think he will. He'll play somewhere.
I would agree just to like the point, like if he just got released by the Patriots for the accusations or whatever that happened. But the issue with me is after he got released, he started talking. He started talking shit about Robert Kraft, the Patriots organization. They followed up with Juju, doubled back down on Ben Roethlisberger. That to me is my issue, and especially when going back to the summer with the whole Antonio Brown situation and why who the hell was his who was his agent that released him? The big Drew Rosenhaus, yeah. And that's why Drew Rosenhaus let him go because if you remember that video that Antonio Brown released, it was the phone conversation that he had with John Gruden.
Yeah.
So I just don't see how not only if Drew Rosenhaus can't trust you, and he's had a lot of head cases throughout his career as an agent, I just don't see how he gets another chance. In my opinion,
it's fair. It's fair on that level. I just think there's always that desperate team.
Until Philly signs him and then we're all happy. We're all
right.
Yeah, we all change our stance.
That's just how it is. It's truth.
Not that kind of guy anymore.
I mean, have we already dealt? We've already dealt with this these type of guys with those headaches. I mean, literally, Alshon Jeffrey was the worst case scenario of the T.O. situation, minus the craziness beforehand. If we would have gave T.O. this contract, this is what would have happened. And what we're stuck with now with him, that's what's going on. I don't want to see that. Like as much as what he could bring on the field, I really wouldn't want him here. Because of the way what's going on with this team, where we're trying to have this youth movement, you're going to have young wide receivers. You want him showing these kids what to do? I wouldn't. I'm sorry.
Right.
As much as he would help them on the field, I think the stuff off of it, you just have to play that my team overall is better to just let him go somewhere else.
I get where you're coming from, Steve, but I can't put Antonio Brown and T.O. in the same conversation. Just because, like, T.O. obviously T.O. talked, and he's but also, again, I'm biased because I'll defend T.O. till the Yeah, I'm 6 feet under.
I'm with you there. Tia was absolutely right with everything that he did, but at the same time, if you paid him with what was brewing in that locker room, it would have hurt us for so many more years.
No, I get that point. Like, my only thing with T.O. is you never really heard him have off the field issues. A lot of his stuff was either in the locker room or just on the field. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I know, and I didn't necessarily have a problem with that. That's why I would have never had a problem with that contract. But and the stuff with Alshon, it's actually you can obviously see now he has a problem with the way the culture is, and he doesn't like this or that. Okay, fine, you don't want to be here. I get it, fine.
Ooh, Tommy's gonna have an issue with this one. If we trade up, take Ruggs with Judy or Lamb still on the board, I'll throw my TV. Yeah,
I agree.
they're still on the board.
I agree, but hold on. What was I gonna be upset with there?
I read it wrong. Don't ignore me. I read it wrong.
Well, you thought I was gonna be upset with Gongos.
Yeah.
Okay, if we trade up and take Ruggs with Judy or Lamb still on the board, I'll throw my TV. I completely
agree.
I think there's one guy that does shares at A2D that would disagree, and I think that's Wilson. But I think everybody else agrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I'm on the JJ train on that one. Give me Jerry Judy. I want that one.
Well, when was the last receiver that had a high 40 that actually really panned out? Because we can go back to guys like Darius Hayward-Bay. Look at John Ross. Like they're just guys.
Yeah, but Darius Hayward-Bay didn't have like the kind of production and film that Judy does, right?
Yeah.
No, you're
talking about Ruggs.
Yeah, you talk about Ruggs.
Yeah. But see, I'm not on that one. As much as everyone loves him, that's why I'm on Jerry Judy because he has the complete package in my opinion. I don't want to just go off of the statistics that we kind of all hammer around when we go to the combine and as we come along the draft. I want to see the tape. I want to see what people are talking about the guy. I want to talk to people who played against him. I don't want to see your immeasurables that you're doing with the combine. I don't want to play that game.
Yeah, I as far as like guys that ran like a 4.2 that were successful, I can't think of, and I could be wrong, but I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. Like if you're talking 4.3s, yeah, there's guys that have been successful, but when you double down in that 4.2, yeah, it's impressive that they can.
Listen, if you're running a 4.2, that's cute. If you catch balls a year,
yeah.
All right, so I don't want to. It's not even up for a conversation or debate when two guys played on the same damn team and one guy caught 70 plus 80 balls and the other guy caught 40. I mean, it's obvious who the better player is. So teams are going to get cute. Teams are going to reach. That's what teams like to do. They fall in love with shorts and T-shirts over production sometimes, and he'll jump boards, and that's fine. Let him. And that doesn't mean he can't be a good player, or an impact guy. But I'm going to go with the same guy on the roster that doubled your production, who might not run the 4.2, but is right there in terms of speed, better route runner. I think it's common sense.
I gotta plug my computer in, guys. Hold on a second. I gotta plug my computer.
We had this conversation the other day. Show me what did Judy do against the top defenses in SEC, LSU? What did he do against LSU? We ain't talking about the Pac-12 defenses, Big 12 defenses. No, we're talking about SEC, grown man football.
Yep.
No, you're right. In the game against LSU,
he had like 70-something yards and 1 touchdown, I think.
Yeah,
it's a good day.
6 and a touch with no Tua. So against LSU, I'll guarantee to the world that they're NFL caliber corners there.
Yeah.
At some point, whenever some guys are draft ready. They're NFL caliber corners there at LSU. So when I'm on 5 for 86 and a touch with the damn backup in, that means I can produce with anybody. That's what that means. That ends the conversation on who's better with Rudy. Ruggs or Judy. I just put them both together with Rudy. Okay, we got that. Now, if you want to bring Lamb into the conversation with Judy and want to argue that one, then let's argue that one. But if you're going to argue me with Ruggs and Judy, I find it as being outlandish, right? Because it's just the production's right there. If you watch Alabama games, you know who's better. Now, if you want to Lamb me and Judy, then let's have the conversation,
right?
But if that's why Gongos' point from jump was spot on about throwing a TV because them two are clearly better. Now, if you want to argue Ruggs and Lamb, who didn't play on the same damn team, maybe you can argue that one. I'm not going to, but maybe you can. But you can't argue, sure as hell argue two guys on the same team.
Raymond Longmore has a question for Nick. Is the Steelers the best defense ever with Joe Green?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Best defense ever. We're going 2017 Eagles, baby. Bend but don't break.
Bend but don't break, D.
Bend but don't break.
Strip. We'll strip. That's a big
strip.
thing.
We'll give up 500 yards, passing yards, and still win the game.
Let's see. I saw. Oh, hold on. I just lost my train. Oh, there it is. Bill Middlebrook also says people will be collecting $1,000 to $1,500 a month unemployment, for some more if they're still at work. So also those people are going to love sitting at home. I mean, yeah, but like if you own a house, what's really $1,500 going to be with everything?
You better get it for both me and my wife.
Yeah, right.
You better not be a one household thing.
Yeah, what are they doing with the 1099 guys? Like, what are they doing? Are they doing anything, or?
I think you gotta be compensated.
Yeah, I would hope so.
I mean, listen, I can show you checks. I can show you all the checks. You know what I mean? Who wants to see that? Who do I got mailed out to? I'll make sure I lick that damn envelope real licky too. I'd be like the freaking Seinfeld episode. I'll lick the shit out of that one. That's disgusting. I shouldn't say that. This guy's look at him spreading it around like he's.
If Rye's still here, I need Rye. I need a clip of that. I need that clip. Raymond also says,
"Just me saying I'll lick it." Yeah, I don't want that clip.
I need it.
Oh man.
Raymond also says, Nick coughing, stay away. Marcus Motley also says, if Eagles whiff on a receiver again, I'll take a shot at Antonio Brown with a veteran minimum. If he starts stripping, just cut the guy, low risk, high reward. I mean,
he won't take veteran minimum.
No, he won't take the vet minimum. That's the only thing.
Career,
ain't no shot.
Rap career to support.
Yeah.
Because that ain't going to support him, so he's got to support the rap career through making NFL money. But would I take him on a vet minimum if he accepted a vet damn minimum?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, now we're having a different conversation. It doesn't hurt you financially no matter what. So
yeah. Tristan Russo also says, "Is there
What's
any
up, my
chance
man?
we get Jerry Jeudy?"
Straight up.
Yeah, not at 21.
No, definitely not 21.
All right, what's your percent that we land Jerry Jeudy? Everybody gives a percent.
I think after the Darius Slay trade, my percentage definitely went down a bit just because you're losing assets if you were to trade up. But I think right now, just me projecting how the draft is going to go, I'm going to say, I'll say like 30-35%.
I'm at less than 10.
Okay.
I'm like 20-ish.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we're gonna be able to go up and get him. Or what happens is before we get a chance to go, we're getting ready to make the move to get him. Someone in that top 10 grabs him before we can make a move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I already would have been calling Arizona. So I mean, my percentage is higher because if I'm the one operating, I'm giving myself like a 75% chance of going and getting them. Because
I mean, if you're calling Arizona and you get something done, because you already know one that they're not going to go get a wide receiver, they put you in a position to go and get that.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe that percentage goes. But until they go and move up from where they're at, I have to stay where I'm at.
But look at Howie's track record. Like, how many times have us as fans identified our guy, like that's the guy we need. That's the guy Howie needs to go get. And he just doesn't, and he doesn't do it. He drafts the offensive lineman, the defensive lineman.
No, I agree with that completely. But it's just the first time where you're going into a draft and it's such a glaring situation. It's that glaring, where it's all that's being talked about, which makes me think, like, in their eyes, they think, okay, what do I got to do to get up and get this guy? Right? And maybe they don't think like that. Maybe they see him at 21 and they get a guy there that they believe can be an impact guy. So, I mean, I'll just, for the sake of argument, go 75% because I could put a deal out there right now to get you up to 8. Okay. I mean, I'll give you this first, next year's first. I mean, right there is a good start to work my way up the board.
Yeah.
Right? It's already a good start. So I'm not drafting 28. I'm drafting 21. It's still a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
So I give you this year, next year's. I throw a second in there if I have to, or I try to go this year's, next year, maybe next year's third.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Try to throw a fourth in there as well somewhere, and hopefully try to get away without giving seconds. But you might have to give up seconds. But there's deals that can be done to still get up there.
Mm-hmm. I think my only concern is, and we talked about it yesterday, me and Ryan mentioned that just knowing how deep this wide receiver draft is, at the same time, I can see teams just panicking and either trading up or just taking guys a little earlier than expected. So let's say just for argument's sake, Jerry Jeudy, Ruggs, and CeeDee Lamb, they all go in top 15. And then you're seeing other guys trade up or just stay where they're at, take a Justin Jefferson at like 18, 20, and then we're sitting at 21. I can really just see Howie Roseman trading back if that was to happen.
Oh, I mean, that's sort of, again, his MO is the trade back game.
Yeah, so
but I think in this instance, he knows that he can't trade back unless you get something.
Mm-hmm.
Like unless like say, hey, we're gonna trade back, but we're gonna be getting this guy and our pick. That's the only way this fan base would be able to swallow that at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Jenna Elizabeth wants to know Trubisky or Foles as the starter. Well, if they're smart,
is that even a question? Is that even a question? Are you serious with that? If Nick's healthy, that he should be the starter. Absolutely.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell stinks.
Yeah.
He's just a better field manager at the end. Period. Like Trubisky just flat out showed he cannot lead that team. That's why Nick Foles is there at the end.
Mm-hmm.
If you roll Trubisky out week 1, what is that telling you to your team?
Yeah.
We don't care.
What is that sending? What message is that sending?
We don't care.
We don't care.
No, you know what? It's a common theme that you get from organizations that can't admit, right? Can't admit they made a mistake. So again, it's telling your players that money and how you're looked at personnel wise matters more than what's best for our football team.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what it tells every guy in that locker room, because these guys aren't stupid.
Yeah.
No. They aren't stupid.
Well, you were saying even after the trade was made, you saw some players, even their top wide receiver, Allen Robinson, he was celebrating on Twitter the fact that they got Nick Foles. So what does that tell you?
Celebration gate.
Yeah, right.
You know?
It means Trubisky's holding a clipboard this season?
Should have been holding. He should have never been a damn first round pick. First off, I don't know. For these guys, shorts in the
man.
Shorts in
Can you imagine being a Chicago fan right now, having to sit there with Chiefs fans and be like, hey, you got Mahomes. How does that feel now?
Who the hell goes to the combine and watches them two just throw the football and say, that's my guy? Like we all watch it at home and we were like, I want to watch him in shorts and a tee,
right?
Throwing at 80 in the air compared to a guy who looks like every throw downfield's a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, man! If every throw downfield in the shorts and the tee looks like a struggle to you, all right, then. And the other guy's effortless, and the other guy's a pedigree where his father was a pro. Like, it's 101 GMing. It's 101. It's right there. It's right in front of you. How the fact that he still has his job after the pick is even more concerning. And then was about to go higher than the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much concerning. There's so much concern if I was a Chicago Bears fan.
Well, it's funny. It's funny too because the front office is like, "Oh, well, this is going to be good competition for Mitch." I'm like, competition? There's no competition.
No, and I'm not even Mr. Nick, where it's like where he's great anywhere else, but in this system, which is sort of this system with Nagy there in Chicago. So I'll buy in and like, okay, this system works for him. He's better than him, even if it wasn't a fit.
Right. And Bears fans that don't know anything, they're probably just shitting themselves. Like, whoa, we got a Super Bowl MVP. We're like, well, outside of Philadelphia, he's not that great.
Well, if he's putting, I think he might be all right there. I think he has them at least a playoff contending team regardless of what else is going on.
No, they got a top 3 defense, and it might not even be 3. They're top 2.
Exactly.
Bitchy poo.
No, I couldn't agree with you more, Jules. I mean, their defense is flat out loaded. It's ready to win now.
Mm-hmm.
It's ready to be an NFC title contender defense. And that's obviously no homerism because we ain't Bears fans. So, I mean, that's just telling people how it is. And they're a quarterback away. And I think they're a little more offensively, too. I think there's some more glaring issues there. I don't believe in their wide receiver core.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some of that could be the quarterback, but I don't really believe in it. So there's some other issues offensively. But defense, I mean, Mahomes would solve that. But defensively, they're ready to win now. So it's, if you're a Bears fan, what can you do draft-wise to upgrade this offense and start Foles?
Wait. If you're the Bears, why the hell you signing Jimmy Graham? 2-year deal.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's just.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, because maybe they're you have rule there. You have guys that run the same kind of system that we do. Maybe they're trying to go with that 12 personnel with Nick there and have him run a lot of that offense. Maybe that's what the idea they're trying to go with, and already having one of our guys already there being their tight end and Trey Burke.
Right.
And now you add him to it. It might be a nice little mix for them. They already got Tariq Cohen. They get them. So they might be going to kind of be like a run heavy set, but pass out of it and play it that way because it's what worked for him here too. If you think about it,
just like the RPOs, yeah.
Exactly. So that's probably what they're kind of thinking of going with it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot about they still had what's his name?
Burton?
Yeah, I forgot they they paid him too. So I don't know. That's another head scratcher. But this whole GM and organization, they're going to be remembered as the team that traded up for Mitchell Trubisky when you could have drafted either Deshaun Watson or Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and Howie Roseman is going to be known as the guy soon here in Philadelphia. On another note, that signs his quarterback to a massive deal, his young quarterback, and doesn't want to go put a young player around him.
Right.
At the wide receiver position, if you don't get on it quick, that's all. That's what he's going to be known for around here.
It's going to be a repeat of like what happened with McNabb. McNabb never had a skilled players on the outside for him, except for when he had T.O. We as fans of this city, that cannot happen. It cannot happen.
Right.
Yeah, you have to hold this franchise, the front office accountable to have a young, wide receiver, somebody on the outside that can grow with him over the next handful of years and potentially win Super Bowls, win division titles, etc. We cannot have a repeat of what happened last time when you finally got your franchise quarterback. Can you imagine Donnie in his early years if he had a guy like when he had Deshaun Jackson at the end?
Yeah, it would have been. Well, we saw how he looked when he had T.O. that one year. It was fantastic. So it's a missed opportunity.
You have to do it between this draft. You're running out of time with some guys on that defense. We don't know how much more times that you're gonna get quality production out of Cox and them guys. Graham doesn't have too much left in the gates. That you have to make it last now, or you're gonna be having a lot of problems.
Yeah. Heavy Thought Phil also says, I'm new to following the draft. What do you guys mean by trading back? So basically the Eagles, where they're picking right now, is 21. So if they don't like a guy or they don't have a guy on their board specifically that's off the board at that position, they can trade back, accumulate more picks, and the team that they're trading with will pretty much take their spot. That's the best way I can explain it.
No, that's good. That's
in its simplest form.
Sums it up.
Yeah. Brodo also says if the Eagles trade back, he's going to lose his mind. But wouldn't it be the most Howie Roseman thing ever, though?
I said, I laid out the only scenario that I think any fan should accept this. Unless you're trading back because you're getting a starting wide receiver that can make a difference on this team now, I don't want to have that conversation. I don't. I don't want to hear it. You need to go up. You need to go make a difference for this team and give them a chance offensively. You put all this money into Carson. Go get the pieces around him. You're going to have what, maybe 2 years left with Deshaun Jackson? Maybe. Come on, guys. And we can't. As much as I love Deshaun, we can't even rely on him to stay healthy. We see what happened last year. I don't really put all that on him. That's also the medical staff and all that between wanting to wait and all that. But either way, he's never had a good track record as far as staying healthy. So we can't rely on him. You absolutely have to go get somebody. You didn't get in on the trade to go get one of the star receivers when everything was happening during this offseason. You absolutely have to make it happen now. We can't hear, but we needed this, we needed that. Well, I don't want to hear it. The fans don't want to hear it, and I'm sure some of them guys in the locker room don't want to hear it. They want a home run here that they can go to town with.
Right. Well, what if you don't address the wide receiver position in the first round and you go another direction?
I mean, I'm not upset about it just because of how deep this draft is. I can see them going in the second and third round with a wide receiver, but again, I'll backtrack to, what was it? I think it was 2017. It was 2017, most loaded running back draft in our recent memory. But again, who did we draft? Who did we draft in one of the most loaded running back drafts of all time?
Donnie Pumphrey.
And that's my concern. Now, again, you have a more of a likelihood to hit to say if you draft 2 wide receivers, which I think is going to happen. But at the same time, just knowing how he's track record with drafting wide receivers, I get so excited for the draft, but then I'm like, it's Howie Roseman.
Here's the thing: we really can't be in the situation where you can go and draft 2 wide receivers just because you have so many other needs in other areas you have to go and fill. You still need an answer at linebacker. I don't care what you said. Me and Tommy have been beating that drum forever. You still need to have some depth on your offensive line. I know we'll wind up getting that in somewhere in the later rounds too, but at the end of the day, you don't know what's going to happen. We've all been wondering what's the future of Kelsey past this season. You still have to really address the left guard situation, regardless of if you feel, say a Miles is going to fill in there or however that's going to play out. You need to get more depth there. With the fact that you've gotten older, these guys are moving on, and some of these plans are working. And then you let Big V, your guy who can play just about almost every position on the end on either end of that line go. That you drafted, Super Bowl experience, all that. It's a thing, and you know how this team plays, especially when it comes to linemen. So don't be surprised if you see a lineman in those top 3 rounds. And the other side of that. So if you're going to put that in the equation too, the first one has to be a wide receiver, and it absolutely must be. It cannot be. This franchise can't afford it at this point in time. Anyone they pick in the first 3 rounds must be either starting or having significant time in this team over the next 3 seasons. They can't be on another team or walking the streets. It cannot happen.
Right. Ricky Galone also says if the Birds trade back, Howie Roseman will see all the Philly with pitchforks, torches outside his house. I mean, maybe
if it blows up in his face, only if.
Now, if you're saying that with like a Justin Jefferson, because that's like the hot name right now, or theoretically if Ruggs is still on the board and we trade back, we're all riding.
Well, will the Eagles draft at 21? Will the Eagles draft at 21? That's my question to the family out there. Will they draft at 21?
Yeah, that's tough.
I believe they do draft at 21. They do.
I don't think they stay. I think they move, regardless if it's up or bad.
Yeah, I'm with Steve in that. I just knowing how Howie Roseman is, he has his moments where he's aggressive, but at the same time, I can see him be like, oh well, we need more draft picks. So I could see him trading back just because if you go back to, I think it was it was early in the scouting combine, because he stressed that the last couple of years we only had really like 4 or 5 picks in the draft the last 2 years, and now that we have, which was 10 at the time, now we have 8. I can just see him stressing on picks just based on where this team's at right now and how quick he wants to retool this team. So now I'm dead set on him trading back.
Yeah, I'll say they stay at 21, and they make that pick there. Trying to be realistic about it, knowing they need a wide receiver. I think somebody will be there. Might not be the guy we like, but I think somebody's going to be there that they'll.
But I do not want them to. If those top three guys, assuming that they're not there, Ruggs, Judy, and Lamb, they're not at 21. I don't want to reach for a Jefferson or a Higgins from Clemson.
If we draft Higgins, I'll lose my mind.
That's probably somebody you could probably even trade back into the first round, like late in the first round and grab, or maybe he might even fall to the second. But
Higgins, I think, will fall.
There's still a lot of questions left on who the hell is playing linebacker. Who?
I think we're all in agreement, though. We don't want to hear the best player available speech this year.
No, we don't want to hear the best player available speech, but we still need to address the corner position, I think.
Yeah, I think so. You still need to get a young corner in here.
I don't see one in the first three.
No,
I could see one
because of the slate trade and how they feel. What they have with Maddox, and they're going to give Sidney another chance. He's had a full season to kind of play with this playbook and know what's expected of him in this system. They're going to give him another chance, regardless if we like it or not. They're shopping Rasul. I think the thing is, if Rasul Douglas gets traded, then that changes.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't, they don't. They don't.
But essentially, you got three guys that are nickels. So you got the guy we just signed, Roby. Maddox is a nickel guy, is a slot guy, and LeBlanc is a slot guy. So your other outside starting corner would be Rasul, if he's still there, or Sidney Jones, who he came on late at the end of the year. So we really only have a corner and a half on the outside.
Right. No. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
I don't know.
I know you're sitting there saying the corner and a half, but I still think we all don't really put into concept, that injury, not really being able to kind of really have that rookie season. He had a rookie season, but he didn't have the rookie season of actually being a player, going through all the nuances of learning this system and who you're supposed to be as an NFL player. And then, obviously getting pulled out of the lineup, having this guy pulled in. And then, like you said, he came in towards the end of last season. Wasn't the greatest, but we started seeing some flashes of that guy on why we want to pick him where we did. So I think they're going to leave faith in him, and they're going to give them the chance, because I think this is going to be his true, his true second season. Now, if he falls on his face this year, then, he's a you could drop the B bomb on him and, put another guy in his position.
Oh, true.
Yeah. I agree. Let me see. I was looking at one comment. I have to try and find it. Oh, here we go. Bill Middlebrook. At the 9th pick, we take Jerry Jeudy, and in the second, we take Mims. If he's there and not Hamler, 2 receivers, Howie, don't get cute. Yeah, I mean,
I'm not with the 2 receiver thing, man.
I'm fine with it. I'll take it. I'll take it all day.
Yeah, I don't know if I want 2 back to back like that.
Because then you're giving up on JJ already.
See, that's the other thing. That's that's the other reason why I don't want 2.
You just use a second round pick on a wide receiver this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a year ago,
That's true.
Aren't in the business admitting mistakes too often, like we talked about not that long ago. So I mean, to me, they're going to give him an opportunity. You exercise the option on Alshon, which tells you that looks like they're going to give him an opportunity. Sean's coming back. They're going to probably let Greg Ward make this football team. So to me, they're drafting. They got one more spot to sort of fill, and that's going to should be your first round pick as an impact guy, and if not, at worst, your second round pick at worst. And if that doesn't happen, then I think we're all flying off the rails. I think if they don't do it in the first, you're like, okay, well, what did you pick? Did you pick an impactful linebacker? Did you was it another DN that's impactful? Like, you know what I mean? But you better not think this is a third round situation where you're drafting a wide receiver.
Yeah.
So I just think it has to be done in the first 2 rounds.
I agree.
I would love to be up in that top 10. I just think it's got to be done in the first 2 rounds.
Joe Moffat also says, if we trade back, what team 22 to 31 would want to move up in the spot and give us a wide receiver and their pick. What team do it, and what wide receiver would we get? See, it's tough for me just because it just really depends on how the draft kind of falls and how it kind of all comes together when we're at 21. I don't really know how the draft's looking right now as far as like draft positioning. Who do you guys think?
See, I don't think it would be anyone in the first round we trade back. What I think would be someone at the back end of the top end of the second round to get our pick to get back in. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Cincinnati coming back in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be funny. They come back in, they pick Jefferson there.
Yeah. You'll have that immediate connection, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, so I thought it would be a good fit there.
Wouldn't shock me. But I think if we trade it back, I think if anything, we trade back to say 27 or 28. I could see them. What do you call it? I can see them getting what's his name, Denzel Mims, at like 27, just because he's that prototypical wide receiver with speed, hand, size. I like him a lot. That's just me.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of love on Mims recently.
Yeah, he's been going up the board a little bit. 1.5 years after injury, aka once he was fully healed, most likely feeling normal again. Yeah, I mean, potentially talking about Sidney Jones. I hope so. I hope so. At least for his sake, I hope so. But
he's never going to be that guy that everybody thought he was.
No, yeah, he's not. He's not going to be. But you know what? Like he's still going to be way more serviceable on that outside than what you already have there right now. You have him right now. You still have to give him that opportunity so you can go fill other needs. Yeah, obviously, you know he's obviously not projecting out to where you wanted him. That's fine. You know, you still took a chance on him where you drafted him anyways. But at the end of the day, you know, like a lot of people sitting there saying that you know they want to give Maddox or LeBlanc that outside slot, and just, at the end of the day, I think that's just a bad idea. They're meant to be in the inside. Leave them on the inside. Let's ride out with Sidney this season. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll go find somebody else. But we have other needs to fill to have to worry about that right now.
If you want to play on the outside, you got to be willing to tackle as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like the slot guys. You know, you got to be able to cover a little bit more, but you got to be able to stick your nose in there on the outside. Yeah. And not be afraid to tackle.
No, 100%.
The really good corners can tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think he's given every opportunity to start on the outside this year. You know, I think it's his job to lose out there. I truly do. I think they're going to give him every opportunity, and I think he could shut some people up because I think the pressure isn't as big. You know, when Slay's willing to take everyone and follow them everywhere they go, then to me that tells me, well, that's less pressure on my number 2 corner.
Right.
Because now he's going to cover guys that are 2s. He's not going to have to cover 1s ever. He's never ever going to get mismatched on a 1. Just not the way it's going to work with Slay. You know, so
and the Slay thing gives them so much flexibility in that secondary with what you already have. Like Tommy's already just mentioned, like he has that number 1, but you also have other guys in your secondary who can cover receivers. Having a Mills out there, McLeod doing his thing, having Rasul Douglas out there too, who when you're not leaving him on the island. And he can make a play on the ball. He's a big guy and he can make a play on the ball. And that's where I think you're starting to see like where he's going to have that impact. These guys aren't going to feel like they're having to run all over the place making big plays because you're going to already have Slay who already does that thing. And these guys I think are going to kind of feed off of that. And I think we might start seeing that interception number this year go up.
Hopefully, I hope so. But Bryce Blackwell also says McCoy wants to come back bad. For anyone at home who's not familiar, LaShawn McCoy posted a practice tape on Instagram yesterday, and him and Deshaun were talking about possibly reuniting.
I mean, the guy was a healthy scratch in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what more do you need to say?
Right.
from his first coach.
From his first coach.
Right.
From Andy.
Yep, from his first coach.
You're not stealing money from us this season, guy. Come on, you're not stealing money from us this season.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, but
yeah,
the time.
We're good.
Yeah, but just knowing how this franchise is, I can I can see them entertaining it. And
But this is exactly what even the front office admit that they're trying to get away from is that loyalty thing. This
Exactly.
is exactly what
Right.
So no, stay away from it.
Mm-hmm.
We love you. You can come here, sign a 1 day, retire as an Eagle, all that good fun stuff. But you're not stealing money from us this season. No, thank you. I love you.
Rob Brinkman also says Patrick Queen, Grant Delpit, or AJ Espinoza would be my non-wideout first-round target. I'll take Patrick Queen all day, or Grant Delpit. Either or, I'll be fine with. But we need that linebacker.
Espinoza, I don't think will be there at 21.
I don't think so either. But I'll definitely take Patrick Queen though.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Queen and Delpit, because I mean, and you they're coming from a school you trust.
Yeah.
You know, on the defensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You want defenders? Go to Alabama, LSU.
Right.
You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
No, close. When in doubt. When in doubt, when you have that conversation, you're like, these guys are similar.
No.
Yeah.
What's the school? What's the school?
Just pick the school. Pick the right school now.
Yeah, that's all it is. Let's see. Levi also says he doesn't need to be that guy. He just needs to be a number 2 now. I'm assuming he's talking about Sidney Jones.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Bryce. I mean, most people probably knew that, but if
a couple of days ago they said he was working with a top D-backs coach, so that definitely helps. It shows he wants to be successful.
And also, we have a new secondary coach this year, so the guys might be coached a little different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got to a point where Corey Youngling. I mean, I don't know what the hell he was telling these guys to do. They never turned for the ball. Their back was always to the ball. Just different technique will be good. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt there.
Yeah, absolutely.
The different voices can be a win.
Mm-hmm. And Bryce Blackwell also says, plus Slay will help him, talking about Sidney Jones again. No, I agree. You have a leader in the secondary now. Obviously, now that Malcolm isn't here anymore, you actually have someone in the cornerback room that can lead these guys and teach these guys how to be a successful corner in this league.
And that can create turnovers and intercept the ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
I still think that's the biggest thing is that playmaker ability that as much as we love Malcolm, like he wasn't that guy who did that. That's why a lot of guys when the Honey Badger was on the market, everyone was like, "Oh, let's go get him." It's just because we haven't had that playmaker back there.
And look what Honey Badger did to that Chiefs defense.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those things. So like I said, I think Slay doesn't just solve one problem in that secondary; he solves multiple ones.
Yes,
and we'll have to see how it all plays out with the new coaching and all that. But like I said, where my projection is interception numbers are up.
Yeah.
Well, Roby's just as big, if not bigger, than Slay, in my opinion. Because I got to be able to cover slot guys,
especially a guy that has experience in that position.
Yeah, and a guy who's a ball hawk too, Jules. Your guys' point that takes the football away.
Yeah,
like my quarterback's best friend is taking the football away.
Exactly.
My offense's best friend. Take the football away from teams. You know, you're going to go deep in the playoffs if you can take the football away.
Yeah, I definitely agree. That's to me, with that and the Hargrave signing, I think are the two most underrated signings of this offseason. And we're going to see that this year. We're definitely going to see that this year. Rob Brinkman also says Big Ten or SEC Eagles need immediate impact, not a hybrid project from shit schools and weak conferences. No, I absolutely agree.
I don't agree with Robbie much either. But
neither do
I. He's right. He's dead on that one. I mean, it's one of the things you need somebody who's a wrecking ball in that defense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just what between the tackles. We talked about it. You need the guy sideline to sideline, the guy who can cover as well. Like you said, we're always getting these weird, your Gary guys and Camus guys. Like, I get it. They're
Wichita
great.
State.
Yeah,
Gary was a Big Ten guy too, undersized.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want the undersized guys.
No, we don't.
We need the guy who's going to make plays for this defense.
Where's Chip Kelly at? I won't big guys beat up on small guys.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need no Kleckos or anything like that. Come on, man. We need somebody who's gonna make another leader in the middle of that defense. We already got a lot of guys there, but you need those type of guys. I'm not sitting there saying you're going to have one of these guys who's just amazing from the jump, but maybe has that developmental talent with those raw skills that can be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, but they need to address that in the draft, not in some guy that's already been in this league.
Mm-hmm.
They need in the draft.
Yeah, I definitely agree as far as that goes. There was a question. Oh, Marcus Motley. We just need projection at this point or luck. Giants got Darius Slayton in the 5th round. I take that at this point. Yeah, honestly, you draft a guy in the 5th round who's pretty much your new number 1 wide receiver since trading Odell. So, but again, I'd love I love late round guys just because of what they can potentially be. But I think the last guy we got late in the round that actually projected relatively well, I think, was Jalen Mills, I believe. And he was drafted in the 7th.
7th round pick, yeah.
So, yeah,
you don't always get that lucky. You don't always get that.
Oh, no, absolutely. How can we forget about Trevor Williams, Jeremy Natachical, I think I'm going to butcher that. I'm sorry.
Now, that is a good point, though.
Yeah, Trevor Williams.
I actually forgot about him as well.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, he's still a young guy. He's only 26, so I mean, be 27 once the season starts. An undrafted guy out of Penn State.
Tom's looking like who the hell is Trevor Williams? I don't.
He's an under the radar guy, but again,
what radar? What radar? The one that don't work.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna hold my breath on that one.
Right.
I don't even know what fucking position he plays.
That's what I'm saying. You don't even know who he is.
Yeah, is a D-back? Is a wide receiver?
Right, he's a corner that we got from the Chargers.
A freaking corner we got from the Chargers.
Yeah, he actually had a pretty decent year, I think, 2 years ago. And last year, I don't know what happened with injuries or what.
Happened.
All right.
So we got 2 guys on the Chargers who were injury prone.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know we acquired Trevor Williams.
That was
that was a while back. It kind of got swept under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it did. It got swept.
It got swept.
What when did we do this?
This was back.
This was a couple of months.
Yeah, it was
months ago.
Oh, months ago.
Yeah.
We weren't in Coronaville yet.
No, we weren't in Coronaville yet. But I guess that's how great of a signing it was that we all forgot about it.
You make that sign today, everybody hears about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on. You made that sign 3 months ago. I don't know who Trevor Williams is.
Right.
I'm looking at you guys.
Ja'Cory Plummer also says, I still want Yannick. I would love to get Yannick here, but I just don't know. I mean, he's still trolling on Instagram, so what you want to take out of that, that's up to you.
Yeah.
I
think if it was going to happen, it would have happened already. It's one of those things at this point in time, he's out there on social media to make traction, to try to get talk about it, to kind of see if he can kind of grease the wheel a little bit. But at this point in time, if it hasn't happened, I don't think you're going to see anything on that front until draft day.
Yeah, no.
It still could happen on draft day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I said. Draft day will probably be it. Like now, as we sit here.
No. As we sit here, no.
No, that's what I'm saying. As we get closer to the draft, it could very well happen the night before the draft. But what I'm saying is, it's one of those things where, as of right there, it's one of those things. He's just doing what he can to kind of keep those wheels moving as much as he can.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's just talk.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all it is at this point. But that's all typically free agency and NFL offseason is anyway. Palmer also says we have $25 million in cap space left to play with. Yeah, but again, you also need cap space for the draft as well. But
you still have guys to resign. They like to resign guys during the season and kind of make moves that way too. So you still have to take care of things in house too. So I think as far as free agent resignings and all that, that's done. The only thing you're looking at is keeping money on there to sign your draft picks and to resign whoever you got in. We're still going to get ready into the whole Zach Ertz situation coming up and all that. So,
Marcus, what y'all think we're going to do with these small ass running backs?
I love it.
I love it too.
I want my hammer. You know what it is. We want the hammer.
I'm not happy they let Jordan Howard walk out here. I'm not happy about it one bit. I am not happy, and I don't give a shit. People don't like it. Now, you can go draft one. Go ahead. Okay. Now we're going to trust them to nail 2 in a row. 2 years in a row. We trust Howie to nail the running back position. Okay. But not too long ago, we were begging for one. So now Now we're going to trust him to hit 2 years in a row. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you had the guy here that was the perfect compliment. And a guy very underrated. Now, was he banged up? Yeah, absolutely. I understand all that. But there's no reason I couldn't have given him the same amount of money to stay right here. But it is what it is. Now you got to go address that somewhere in the draft or one of these veteran free agents. You know,
I already told you they're gonna ride with it. They're gonna ride with Holyfield on that, man. You know that, brother. They're gonna ride with Holyfield on that.
Everybody square in the face.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'll be at Vander Hands if he's on this football team and needs to contribute.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Practice squad, that's cute, fine, but being on this 53-man roster, absolutely not.
No shot.
Yeah,
no. Absolutely not.
No shot. And going back to Jordan Howard, if Miles Sanders didn't have a great second half to last season, I think Jordan Howard is back.
Oh, absolutely,
no doubt. But
I agree.
I don't see why Howard can just let him go like that. Because now, now we're talking about with Boston Scott.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had to trade to get him too. So
yeah, you trade to get him.
It's one of them deals that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. You just trade to get him. We saw his value here. We saw that
when they actually used him.
Yeah, his yards after contact, how important that was, and how it kept Miles honestly
fresh.
That's touches early on because I don't want Miles getting 25 touches early on.
And guys like that are yards after contact guys. They're volume. You got to give them carries. You got to feed them the rock.
Right.
You know, they got to get in the rhythm.
Like you did against Green Bay.
Yeah.
Like you did against Buffalo.
Yep.
You know, you got to wear the defense down.
But all them games where we had good games offensively when Jordan was healthy was because he ran the ball well.
Mm-hmm.
And we ran the ball with him well.
Yeah.
Because there was nobody tackling him the first time.
No.
You know, every time you get that extra yard or two. Well, we know this game, how important each one of them is to a drive. The difference that you getting, say you get 3 extra yards on 2 carries. Well, now you might be in the second and third and 4 instead of a 3rd and 7. That's gigantic. I mean, you know, them little things are huge. You're in a 3rd and 3 instead of a 3rd and 8. Because
playbook is wide open now all of a sudden.
Yeah. Right. Then little things. And I love Miles. There's nothing to do with Miles, but I know how this league works. Everybody has a Robin to the Batman. Everybody has one.
You need 2 backs. You need 2 backs nowadays.
Yeah, that's how you do it smart. Or if not, you're gonna have a guy like Gurley who's done.
Yeah.
Who's done because he was just worn out because he got abused for 2-3 years.
And then
I don't want to abuse him. I don't want to abuse him. So I say, go give me Christian McCaffrey. Screw Yannick. I'm off the Yannick thing right now. Go give me McCaffrey.
I'm with him on that one.
Carolina, you in rebuild mode? We'll take them.
And they don't have 2 running backs, but they don't need 2 running backs in Carolina.
No.
You got Mr. Universal.
Yeah.
Swiss Army knife, fine.
Even when he gets older, when he can't really run the ball as well, you can just move him right to wide receiver.
Oh, you can still run routes. That don't go away.
Right. Ja'Cory Palmer gives suggestions, Carlos Hyde or A.J. Dillon. Carlos Hyde, I just feel like he's been too many places. And I just teams
the bias Harris effect.
Yeah.
Good.
Look how much we paid that guy.
I'm good.
Joke. Anyway.
You see that one?
What is Owner ain't gonna be alive, I can tell you that much.
Oh man. Maybe my kids. I don't know. The way that franchise is being run.
I don't know. Unless they pull off a trade to get up and to 3, maybe get to it.
Yeah.
I mean, they are 3. They are 3. Never mind.
Yeah, they're right up there. But I can also see them getting Okuda just to replace Darius Slay. That's my big one. Marcus Mosley, third and a 2. Get out there, Boston.
Look. I love the little bandit because Boston Scott is a little bandit. Trust me on that one. But no, man. Give me my hammer. Leave Boston Scott out there for some of that other stuff, man. Give me my hammer, man.
He Boston Scott's more your 3rd down back anyway, just like a change of pace type of guy.
Yeah, but like when that situation you're 3rd and 2, that's not typically a situation you want him out there. You want somebody you want your power back out there for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree. Bill Middlebrook also says obviously there was something about Howard that we don't know about because how many times last year were the fans yelling for Howard and shaking our heads that they weren't using him? I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't read too far into it, but again, like Nick said earlier, to how pivotal it was for Howard to contribute early, so we could have Miles fresh in the or in the playoffs, which was huge. But again, I'm with Tommy in this one. I just don't see why they couldn't have brought Jordan Howard back for $5 million a year. I think it was, because I think he signed a 2-year, $10 million deal with the Dolphins. I think something along those lines.
Yeah,
Or
so
maybe we also got to think of maybe it was the fact of how he was used here, and maybe he thought he was just going to be used better in Miami, and that's probably why he went there too.
Well, he wants to be that guy. That's the only thing that really.
Yeah, he wasn't going to be with Miles. As much as he loved Miles and loved being here, I just thought he just probably like, you know what, I love it, but you know, I want my time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll see come draft time.
It's always a factor in it. I don't think what Bill was saying that there was any issue on why they didn't run him.
No, I don't think so.
They just went out and dealt him for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way they do running back by committees at times. So it's just the way they operate. I wouldn't say they didn't use them. I mean, I thought they used them. I thought they were using the running backs fine. I'm not one of them to get all up in arms in that, because I know how they turn the switch on in November, December, and they start running the football more. I just know their MO. So I don't get worked up in September, October with it. I totally get it. They're throwing too much. Well, that's what they're doing. That's what they always have done. It's
also because the weather dictates it.
Yeah, as I said, the weather.
When the weather,
people forget about that part, man.
Air it out when the weather's warm. But when the weather gets a little chill, I gotta be able to hammer it up in there.
Right. A little tougher to catch the ball in winter.
Oh, especially when no fucking wide receivers.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to catch the ball in the winter.
Yeah. Then I was seeing people on Facebook the other day wanting Greg Ward to get the start next season, which I don't see happening.
No, starting, no. If he's a slot, I love Greg Ward, man. Like he's a guy that has a place on this team, but he's not be starting on the outside. He's somebody who's on the inside. You know, he's your third or fourth guy.
At best, I think he's your fourth.
Yeah, like I said, man, I already said that, man. I'm surprised that Dougie didn't pull that out with having him on the team, because he loves to run that jet sweep, run a trick play right off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, let him be my third damn quarterback, and
that's the other thing. He's an emergency quarterback,
and let him be my fourth. If he's my fourth or my fifth, I'm in great shape, right?
Yeah.
If he's got to be more than what he is, and that's not a shot at the kid, but if he's got to be more than if he's more than your three, there's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
If he's your three, I can wrap my head around it a little bit, right? Because he made enough plays to say, well, he could be your third. He's made enough plays to me to be deserving of that. Okay, but he hasn't made enough plays to be your one.
No,
you're one of your outside guys. I mean, lay off it. I know everybody suck inside, but put the bad pipe down. You know what pipe we're all talking about?
Yeah,
put that fucking pipe down. Not only you losing your teeth, you're losing your mind. All right, that's how I look at that one.
Yeah, I completely agree. Plus, you're gonna have JJ hopefully coming on next year. So,
well, you asked it yesterday, or Ryan asked it to one of us, or somebody asked it. Man, it might have been me. I don't even remember. Yeah. But I think he's going to have. I think he has 40 catches and about 600 yards next year, and like 5 or 6 touchdowns. I think he takes a step. I'm not ready to quit on a guy after
1 year.
A wide receiver after 1 year. I know it's easy to quit on them. I just can't. I can't. Just like I haven't quit on Sidney yet because he showed me a pulse. He showed me a response. Since I have Slay, I'll let you start. You know what I mean? But in this situation, I can't let you start. But you can come into camp and prove it all wrong,
right? And
be ready to go. And because now you don't have to think as much, you can just go play. Year 2, I can see the jump. Now, if he stinks, and there won't be a jump. It'll be out of league talk.
And we'll find out real early if he stinks.
Oh, yeah. Jules, we're gonna find out like week fucking 2. We might even find out the week 1 preseason.
Yeah.
No, we won't, because he caught a touch last year in preseason, and Bill Middlebrook, I remember, gonna catch 8 to 10 this year. Gonna catch 8 to 10. I mean, he's not alone in the craziness, because we were like, who's stopping us? We're gonna put up 50 a game. Best red zone offense in football. Look at the size of us. Oh my arm. Wow. We saw how that went.
Yeah, well, if we didn't have injuries,
then either is a fan base.
Rob Rinkman also says 21 for Yannick. Let's go. If it takes just a 21 to get him, I'll do it all day.
Rob, you know that, Jeff? If you think 21's going to get him, Rob?
Yeah, he need more than a 21.
21.
Maybe he meant starting. That's a starting point.
You got
Yeah.
what you got? Madden trades on easy.
Right.
Turn the ball.
Madden wouldn't even accept that.
No, even on like the easy, like we'll get you let you get away with some stuff deals. They're not even gonna let you do that.
No.
You better throw 2 firsts in there. Listen, you might not have to go 2 firsts because everybody knows they're parting ways in a way.
Mhm.
Okay, they're not going to pay him, so you don't have to go 2 firsts. But you ain't getting done with just 21. You better come with next year's second probably, and that might do it, or a 1 and a 3 might do it. But it's just a 1 by itself. I can't see them doing it. But listen, crazy.
How do you guys feel about Derek Barnett?
I like Derek. I
do.
You're a Derek
like
guy. He's not your son, but you.
Yeah.
He's not my kid, but I still think
he's a neighbor. He's a neighbor.
Neighbor, yeah. He's like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
You guys doing yard work? Out?
Like he's the family member you claim, but like you don't got that much love for him.
Right.
It's just like I see bursts of how impactful he can be, and then I see bonehead shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like back and forth on him, but I have no issue going into this year with how deep this line is saying, hey, he's your starting D end. I'm not going to be upset by it. I don't think I'm ready to make. I think that decision comes after this year, whether if Derek Barnett's in my future.
Right.
I think it's a big year for Derek Barnett as well. I absolutely do.
So this is what this is fourth year. Fourth.
Going into 4.
Going into 4, yeah.
2017 was rookie year, right?
Yeah. So he was the first. He was a first rounder. So his next year though is his exercise year.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why it's so important for him.
Yeah. So really, it's a contract year, really.
Mm-hmm.
I think regardless that because of how much importance they put on the defensive line, I don't think there's any question about his option getting picked up. I think the real question comes: is it a long-term deal,
right,
or is it just we're going to pick up the option?
Yeah.
Because why shouldn't we? You know what I mean? Or is it, hey, here's a 4-year extension? That's why this year's so important to him. They can define a 4-year extension or just a pickup of an option.
Yeah, I agree. Brakeman also says Jags have no leverage. They have no leverage, but at the same time, they own his rights, so they can make the price whatever they want to. Even though Yannick said he doesn't plan on playing for them this season, that for the time being, unless the price goes down and after the draft they still haven't gotten a deal done, then I can see the price going down a little bit. But right now, he's just for a young 24-year-old elite.
They're not just giving away guys for nothing.
Right.
They have no leverage, but.
Gongo also says I wouldn't give up a 21 for an end. Isn't the big need for this team? Corner and receivers are far more important. I would be willing to offer at most a 2 for yeah. There's no way. Here's my counter argument, and I know Tommy's going to jump in too. For a 24-year-old elite defensive player in Yannick Ngakoue, who's had I think 37.5 sacks in just 2 years of being a starter, which doesn't happen that often, mind you. So you're going to have that elite caliber of a defensive player also alongside Hargraves, Cox, and everyone else there, Malik Jefferson. You're going to have him not only for 4 or 5 years, you're going to have him for like 8 or 9 years as a top-tier player in this league. So obviously, like when you look at it face value, yeah, sure, it's not the best, but you have to look at the longevity of it too. You're going to have him till he's 32 and still being a high caliber player. And
another aspect of that, what goes hand in hand, and where we always talk about this, pass rush helps the secondary. Secondary helps pass rush.
Yep, absolutely. And
right? So if you can add a guy like Yannick that can just and on that line that pressures the quarterback, them guys don't have to cover for more than 5 seconds. 3 seconds. Mm-hmm. That ball's coming out.
Yeah, and you can have like if you get Yannick, you can have Sidney Jones looking like an all-pro out there.
Exactly.
So
and that's the other thing people forget about. Like it's one of the things like when you talk about football, it's they always say it starts up front. So if you're able to get that guy up front who can make a difference, if you can make that happen, then yeah, like that's Tommy's talking about how it's very big for Derek to have a big year because he wants to get that money that these top guys get situated. He was a first round pick. He wants to make good on his dreams and aspirations for it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're able to get Yannick there, it's one of the things that it's a splash. It's worth trying to make it happen. But like it's one of these things like you still have to resign this guy. So you're at the thing where you don't want to give up too much to go get him, and then still have to pay him too.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But again, and Gongo proved me wrong. I'm fine. It's all right. I don't have notes in front of me. It's all good. But even then, like, still 20 in 4 seasons, that's still impressive. 37.5 sacks. That's still impressive.
Yeah, I don't listen. I trade picks for proven talent every day.
Yeah,
twice
exactly.
on draft day. So I mean, it's not even a question. I know it's not a need per se, but when you have players of that type of caliber that are available, they don't come available that often. You know, so when they do, sometimes you have to jump on it.
A defensive end who can make big plays like that is always a need, Tommy. Always.
Yup. Always.
Even if you already had the position lined up, like we just had a first round pick on Barnett, and we're sitting here talking about Yannick right now. Well, guess what? It's because you can never have enough guys who can get after the quarterback. The end.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy.
Rob Brinkman, you're wrong.
What did Rob say?
But I don't understand Barnett and Nelly. That's not even. I don't think fair. I think Derek Barnett's been way more successful, and productive in his time.
In big spots too. Yeah, in the biggest spots.
That's not fair.
People forget about that block field goal his rookie season, right? Wasn't that very? I think that was one of the reasons we won one of them games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the strip sack against Phillip Rivers in, like, I think the second game of the year in 2017. So, like, he's a contributor. The only, like, issue I have with him, it's just, like, you see flashes. You don't see it consistently. You see what he can be.
Well, that's why we had to bring Vinny Curry in here last season because he has these holes in his game. You know, that's why we're entertaining the fact of bringing Yannick in there because there's holes in his game he needs to round out and get better at. It's going to happen until either he does or we replace him. One of the other is going to happen.
Yep, one of the two.
Yeah, and Marcus makes a great point. Yannick got 2 picks, both pick sixes. Him and Cox, no double blocks. Good night. Yeah.
Then you free up.
And then on top of what you with Hargrave and what Brandon Graham can do and everything like that, it just makes that front insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wasn't it? Anybody learn what happened here in 2017? Anybody watch? Remember? All right, there was 2 different lines coming in. We used to call it a it was a front 8 or a front 7 at least. Okay. Well, the Niners have been drafting that same damn thing for the last few years. They've been saying, okay, that's the best guy on the board. All right. That's the best guy on the board again. All right. That's the best guy on the board again. All right. D4's available. Okay. So, I mean, they've just been saying, okay, we'll take them all. Because the best friend to an offense that's not great is a great defense and a great line. Right? Because it makes up for everything else. Everything else. You didn't even know who the hell their other secondary members were. Right? Outside of Richard Sherman. Nobody knew who the hell these other guys are. Really? It's like household names is what I'm saying. Right? And they play in the Super Bowl because that front rolled out 2 different starting lineups on you. Right? Same thing the Dodgers do. Right, left. You right? If I can have the ability to roll 2 different lineups out, I'm going to win 100 games or I'm going to go deep into the playoffs. It's like 101. So you never pass up the opportunity to go get an impactful pass rusher ever under a certain age.
Yeah, no.
You just don't. And you don't not pick up an option on a guy that has a pulse, too, of getting after the quarterback at Barnett. You don't just not pick up the option, Rob. That's delirious. The option's not costing you that much money to not pick it up. You absolutely pick it up and you see, okay, now all the pressure's in the world. You're on your last deal. You're on your last year, so you either go ball or you get paid minimum money like Aguilar gets paid then. But I guarantee you, if Derek Barnett hit the free agent market, somebody's giving him $5-6 million a year easy. Easy.
Yeah.
But he's still young.
Yeah, and there's a track record of getting to the quarterback. Yep, he's puppy talky. You know what I mean?
Well, people also people too. Also, when it comes to the defensive players, especially, they pay too much attention to sacks what you should really be paying attention to is pressures. Pressures matter a lot too.
I want to hit you in the mouth as many times early on in a football game as I can.
Yep.
Because if anybody has played football in their life, I don't give a shit who you are, how much you enjoy contact. You start getting hit around, you don't like contact. You start shying away from throws, right? You start not following through on throws. Then them little things that nobody thinks about, but they matter.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but the Niners defense wouldn't be half as good if they didn't have Nicky Bosa this year.
Nick Bosa, you had
Buckner.
Buckner. They had a bunch of first-round picks on the D-line.
Nick Bosa made that defense so much better.
Oh,
that's why I like Washington. That's where I like where Washington's defense is going.
Yeah.
Because the last 2 years they said, "Oh, SEC D linemen, okay,
mm-hmm.
they're the best on the board. We have other needs, but this is where we're gonna go."
Right.
And we're gonna take Chase Young this year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God! Could you imagine?
It's a copycat league, and the smart ones, not the Washington, but the smart ones follow suit. 2017 teams have already followed suit on how many good D linemen can I get. The Eagles been doing that for years, and most good teams have, but never had the two separate lineups thrown out at you. And I know Bryce was asking this one. I'm not sure. I think he is.
No, he's a free agent.
It was a 1 year deal, wasn't it?
He's a free agent.
Team option. Don't be surprised if back.
No. Same thing with Jernigan too. Don't be surprised if he's back either.
I don't think Vinny is. I thought he only signed a 1 year deal though.
Yeah, it's only a 1 year deal, which was last year. He's an unrestricted free agent right now.
He'll be back for camp.
Yeah. Matt Spills also says, "What's up, fellas? I see Bill is still on the TJ Chark mission. I ain't mad at it. No, I'm not either. Bill's been doing that every show for the past, I think, 2 weeks, and I'm not mad at him. Got to give it to him for consistency, though. At least he's consistent."
Wow, Jeremy Macklin comes out and he just said, "I'm happily retired. Those are my guys. Would love to see Shady back in Philly. Eagles make it happen." Now you got Jeremy Macklin coming out.
Come on.
And then the fans are going to start piggybacking off of that. So
that's not
Macklin, you retired, stay retired.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which means don't talk unless you're in player personnel.
Yeah,
right. Now the fans are going to be like, "Oh, well, we have to get Shady back now."
You know that was like McNabb when we drafted Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was stupid for them to do that.
Yeah.
The only reason I bring him like at this point, like if you want to do something to have him contribute, have him return kicks or something. I don't care, dude. Just like if that's what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Like I don't need him in the running back rotation. I don't.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the young player like Miles. But I mean, could it work? I doubt it. But can I see, just knowing how this franchise is, I can definitely see it.
Or our fan base until we actually do bring him back and we're all saying, yeah, she's back.
Yeah, exactly. Because I can guarantee you, just knowing how Lincoln Financial and just how the Eagles are, it's like if anyone was at the home game last year, everyone remembers how loud the place got once Deshaun Jackson made his entrance.
Deshaun's different, though.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree.
But Deshaun was such like a missed commodity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he should have never left, really.
No.
Never
left. But a guy who can just take, that one play and take it 80.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that commodity was gone. It's such a shame.
And he still had it.
Yeah, it's such a shame because him and Carson week 1 got that connection quick, and it was going to be a lights out season. I'm not running.
He was catching fucking 14 touchdowns last year.
No, I'm telling you, if he played 12, this team would have won 12 games, and Carson Wentz might have been the MVP if he would have played 12 games because it wasn't going to slow down. I mean, their connection quick off Jump Street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I think that's why
it got scared real quick. For defenses.
And that's not Little Sisters of the Poor Washington defense either.
Mm-hmm.
You know, their offense was, but their defense wasn't Little Sisters of the Poor. They got players over on that side of the football.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's see. Get into a couple other football comments, and then we'll talk about Jon Jones to wrap it up. Kyle O'Brien, I hate how people think that with their hearts and not with their brains. No, I completely agree. And you think Judy will be there at 21? I'm assuming he's talking about. Yeah, no, he's not going to be there at 21 now.
He shouldn't be out of the top.
Not unless he comes out with like a little Instagram video before the draft, smoking a bowl.
Yeah, right. Gas mask, that whole thing.
The gas mask.
gas mask. Now he can't even do that. Now it'll be okay. NFL opened up the policy.
Right.
So now you can't even do that. So now we gotta find him he gotta blow a line of coke or something.
Yeah, you got to do some hardcore shit.
Or
Yeah,
just
or at least
you got to change the game.
right.
He's snorting the pharmaceuticals. Something aggressive. He's got to do something aggressive to be like, dropping to 21. Listen, in all reality, he shouldn't get out of the top fucking 5. I don't know what GMs are thinking. Like to me, he's top 3 on my big board. It's not even close. It's not even close. The fact that we're talking about him getting the 8 or him getting the 13 to the Niners is mind-boggling to me. But we'll see, because that just tells me everything I already knew about GMs in this league. They're freaking idiots. They're idiots. Yeah. They're idiots. Yeah. Like I know there's a lot of good DNs in this league. I get that, but like these type of wideouts to me don't come around every year. A guy who can do it all already. You know what I mean? Like usually guys like there's their projects, or whatever. But
yeah,
to me this is the one wide receiver like in this class that's can't miss.
And he's not really a big guy either.
No,
he's not 6'4", 225, Julio type size.
I think that hurts him a little bit.
Yeah, it does hurt him.
I think him being that like 6'2" guy sort of hurts him a little bit. But he plays like he's.
But when you watch him play, he passes the eye test.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again.
Over again.
You can watch pretty much any game with Judy, and he's gonna just wow you. Kyle O'Brien also says I meant trading up in the middle, but even then I don't see Judy being there. If you're talking like just straight in the middle, like a 15,
no.
I don't see
him getting past the Raiders.
I have to get closer to like 11, 12.
Yeah, so I think the Raiders had the 12th.
That's pretty the max there. Yeah.
Raiders had the 12th pick, and I don't see him getting past them.
I can see the Raiders picking him, and I can also see the 49ers picking him as well.
Yeah, I don't think he gets out of the top 10. I think it's crazy to think he gets to 13 or out of. I think it's nuts.
Crazy talk.
Because somebody will go up and get him then. Somebody in that 13 range, or the Niners who have 2 first-round picks, they're not going to use one of the first, but they'll use later ones if they really feel like he's not going to get there. They'll go up. They'll swap picks and go up and trade a 3rd or a 4th later on down the road. They'll go up and get him. I don't think there's any chance he gets out of the top 10. Even if the need for that team isn't glaring, somebody's going to say, "Oh, I'll put him with the other guy on my other side." Then Arizona might get so fucking cute with you. They might draft him too at 8 and say, "Okay, I'm going to be smart and I'm going to put as many guys around my young quarterback who I invested all this in, and I'm going to let it go play that." But watch out if they do. The rest of the NFC West better watch the hell out. If you got Judy Hopkins and Fitzgerald freaking flying around your field, shit, I would know. No point to cover that.
Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk.
And Kirk. I would draft him. I'd say, "Hey, we're going to throw it all out there."
Yeah.
But that's not a realistic play. I mean, I get it, but I just don't. I think somebody out there is going to say this is too good not to take.
Yeah, I completely agree. Getting into basically the tail end of the show, Jon Jones, UFC champion, got arrested over, what was it, yesterday or 2 days ago?
It was like 2 days ago.
2 days ago, yeah. Now
every day runs together now, but 2, I think.
Yeah, out in Albuquerque. So, but could this be the end of Jon Jones' MMA career, with just including all his past stuff as well?
Should be. Will it? Probably not.
No.
It's all about freaking money. It's all about money. You said no, Steve?
Yeah, no, dude. Just because of the way everything works out in the MMA world. Like, all right, let's say that this whole thing plays out, and Dana White plays the whole, "Oh, we're gonna play the hard hand. We're gonna strip him of his title. You're no longer gonna fight for the UFC. I've had enough of this." And Bellator will sign him in 2 seconds. It's not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
Like, all you're gonna do is what? You send him some classes or whatever, and then go upon his way. Like, literally, this is like, as far as wasted talent goes, I mean, like, literally, this has to go. This is like Mike Tyson 2.0 minus the rate. I mean, this guy's a freaking moron. Like, he literally, like, you have everything you could possibly want. You have this pedigree. Your brothers are world champions. You're a world champion in your given sport. You have millions of dollars. You're the freaking face of this freaking sport for the better part of the last 10 years, and you still can't manage to get your head right. You're stir crazy. We're all stir crazy. We ain't gonna run around freaking drunk with freaking handguns.
You know what's funny? It's like the UFC almost promotes this in a way. Like, this is okay.
Here's what people forget.
Yeah, I mean, UFC world, any other sport's not okay.
He's right.
UFC world's okay.
He's right, because what people forget that after Quentin Rampage Jackson lost his title to Forrest Griffin, he had a breakdown and was going rampaging through the streets of Las Vegas, where he had to be arrested and medical treatment and all this, and was fighting 6 months later. He was fighting 6 months later. Remember this.
There's a guy who's not shutting down fighting. Fighting's going to go on right tonight. Fighting's going on tonight, fam. There's a guy who won't even shut down fighting in a pandemic. He loves to be talked about. He loves when his sport's talked about. It's almost like a badge of honor to get arrested and to be in the news. And it almost puts you at the round table with Mr. White. That's what it almost does. Like, you get arrested enough in the UFC and you're in the news enough, you almost get to sit at that round table. Of the guys the upper echelon guys. As long as you can fight a little bit, obviously. Yeah. I mean, you gotta be a fight. But for the guys who can fight, it's almost like it's okay. It's not like other sports. And that's always how boxing's been too, Steve, for way back in the day, right? I mean, it like that extra shit was like almost okay in that sport. Why? Because nobody was essentially owning you in a way as a player, right? You know what I mean? Like in other professional sports, you're owned by the guy giving you the contract in a way. Where in UFC and boxing, you own your own hand in a way. You know what I mean? So the only guy who'd be out on you is your promoter, other things like that. But there'd be another guy who's going to come in and say, "Well, I can get you money. I can get you the next fight." So it doesn't matter. So if one guy closed the door on you, like you said, 100 other are going to open somewhere else, and because you're a star, they're not in the business of losing him, right? They're not in the business of losing him, so they're not going to say, doors closed, go fight somewhere else, because you will, you know?
Because here's the thing, there's nothing where the commission can suspend him on this one, right? So it's not like he's going to lose his fighter license. It's more like he gave himself another publicity punch in the face, and he's going to have to sit down and talk to Dana, and they're going to have to come up with some type of PR thing that they're going to go through and saying, they're like, all right, you're doing this, this is what you're going to do to get better, and da-da-da-da. That's going to be the end of it. That's it. They're not going to strip him of his title. They're not going to do anything.
Yeah. And Bill actually brings up a really good point. McGregor can attack people on buses and fight the next day if he wanted to. It's all about the money. No, I absolutely agree. That's really what it's all about. That's all Dana really cares about.
What do you think it's about in the NFL?
Right.
Right? If it makes the image look bad or makes the shoe look bad, it's what it's all about. That's why these guys get cut and released, because the other thing, they want the shield to look bad. They want their shield to look bad because it's a sign of toughness. Sorry, Steve. Like in the NFL, it's we can't have this bad look on us, right? In UFC, it's almost like I said, a badge of honor to be arrested.
But, and it's almost gets to the point where, like here's the thing: people tend to forget about that. Dana White sat there had to sit down before they got bought out, and that he was going to had to sit down with it and broke everything down with Vince. So they already know how the whole thing plays, where you're talking about the extra drama stuff and all that stuff going on.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's really just a mess, honestly.
Social distancing behind you.
Yeah.
TV just decided to turn on and was like, "Hey, what's going on here?"
Yeah, we still have horses to bet on.
Huh?
Bill said we still have horses to bet on.
We still have horses to bet on.
Never was a pony guy.
But here's the thing, but with the thing with, like, if Dana sat down and had this meeting with Vince, right? And they're just going over all these things on like things that are just going to allow to happen. They're just playing into the whole thing. Like when you're sitting there, the whole thing, like the guy was mentioning about McGregor. he had to go the hard line on him because how crazy when fighters got cut, hurt, people had to get yanked and moved around and stuff like that. So it was a situation he had to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, all it did was make those numbers go up and up and up and up because it was craziness. Remember how crazy the whole Mike Tyson situation when he had all his melees and stuff. Oh, remember Jon Jones and DC did that not too long after the merger.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, like we already know what it is. It's the drama and the nonsense sells. They're gonna continue to push the drama and the nonsense as long as you have an idiot there pushing it.
K. Richardson MMA also says, will the owners of the UFC fire Dana White? No.
Never.
He's not going to.
Because he's an actual owner of the company itself now. People tend to forget about that. When Zuffa sold everything, they redistributed everything. He owns more of the company now than he did back then. Back then, he was like a 12% owner. He's like more of like a 30%er now. Where the other guys have the bulk of it and it's liquidated and everyone has shares and this that, and the third. But he has a bigger part of it now than he had then. No one's firing him. He's the one he's the mouth of it, running everything. It's funny because I remember when MMA really hadn't blown up to this point. He used to bag and talk so much crap on Don King about how he ran things and did things. I'm not going to do things this way, dude. You've become Don King, so you know.
Bill, inbox me on how the hell you pulled that off.
What's that?
30 years of smoking. I'm on day 17 clean. Good for you, Bill. If you can quit clean, good for you.
Yeah. Great work.
Yeah.
God's work right there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 10%? I'm sorry.
I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what he said, so I figured I'd throw it up there.
Yeah, man. I don't know what the percentage is, but it was like he had nothing before. After the sale, when everything got redistributed, he'd gotten more percentage than he had before. Like I said, they liquidated everything. Freaking Mark Wahlberg owns shares. Serena Williams, the freaking Tom Brady has shares in the UFC. So does it really matter at the end of the day?
Yeah, no, it doesn't really matter. We have anything else before we wrap up?
No, I think that sums up my sports.
Yeah,
there's nothing else to bring up that for.
Yeah, really
about the same shit again.
Yeah.
I mean,
another day locked up in the house, so
pretty much.
I think about what a good topic would be for tomorrow. I almost want to go the guy you like to boo the most. Who do you like to boo the most? I think that's going to be tomorrow's.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, I think
your most hated figure out of all the four sports. Pick one.
There you go.
Guy you like to hate the most.
Out of all your sports.
That's a good one.
Yep, that's a good one too. Same thing. I love it.
All right, guys, that's been this week's episode of the Week Roundup. I'm your host, Jake Friel, Steve Reichel, Tom the Exotic Arnone. I'm not gonna back away from that. Nick Giuliano. We are brought to you by our doc.
Welcome back, Jules.
Thank you, guys.
We are brought to you by our doc, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. Our doc, make him yours. Find him on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Also find him Burlington, Cherry Hill, and Princeton locations. We are also brought to you by Ambuck Services, AMBUCK Services.com. Call Michael Ambrose, tell him A2D sent you. Get yourself 10% off gutter cleanings, anything you need done around the house. Our guys at Ambuck Services will help you. Go to ambuckservices.com. Also, if you guys can't catch our live shows, we're all over the place, all on podcast platforms, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, we're everywhere. We got everything. So, as always, we'll check you guys out on another episode of the Weekly Roundup next week. See you guys soon.
Later, boys.
Later, everybody.
Guys.